In December 2020, the richest man on earth packed his bags and left California. He did not move to Switzerland. He did not move to Dubai. He moved to Texas, a state famous for cowboy boots, oil wells, and one very important thing: zero income tax. His name is Elon Musk. And by moving to Texas, experts estimated he saved himself over $11 billion. In a single year, $11 billion. But Elon Musk was not alone. Hundreds of America's wealthiest people made the exact same move, quietly, legally, and brilliantly. This is the story of the greatest financial migration in American history. And it is still happening right now. To understand why billionaires are moving to Texas, you first need to understand something about the American tax system. In the United States, every state is allowed to set its own income tax rate. Some states charge very high income tax. California charges up to 13.3%, the highest of any state in the entire country. New York charges up to 10.9%. New Jersey charges up to 10.75%. But Texas charges zero, nothing, not one single dollar of state income tax. Now think about what that means if you are a billionaire. If you earn $100 million in a year, California takes $13 million from you. Texas takes zero. That is $13 million you keep every single year, just by changing your home address. Think about that for a moment. Not by working harder, not by building a new business, just by moving. Elon Musk was the most famous. But the list of billionaires and megacorporations who moved to Texas reads like a who's who of American wealth. Tesla moved its entire headquarters from California to Austin, Texas. Oracle, one of the world's largest software companies, moved from Silicon Valley to Austin. Hewlett-Packard Enterprise moved from California to Houston. Charles Schwab, one of the biggest brokerage firms in America, moved from San Francisco to Westlake, Texas. Real estate investor Grant Cardone moved. And the list keeps going. This was not a coincidence. This was not random. This was a strategy, a coordinated, deliberate financial migration. And the numbers tell the story clearly. Between 2020 and 2023, Texas gained over $100 billion in personal wealth migration. $100 billion, moving in from other states. In just 3 years. Elon Musk was the most famous. But the list of billionaires and megacorporations who moved to Texas reads like a who's who of American wealth. Tesla moved its entire headquarters from California to Austin, Texas. Oracle, one of the world's largest software companies, moved from Silicon Valley to Austin. Hewlett-Packard Enterprise moved from California to Houston. Charles Schwab, one of the biggest brokerage firms in America, moved from San Francisco to Westlake, Texas. Real estate investor Grant Cardone moved. And the list keeps going. This was not a coincidence. This was not random. This was a strategy, a coordinated, deliberate financial migration. And the numbers tell the story clearly. Between 2020 and 2023, Texas gained over $100 billion in personal wealth migration. $100 billion, moving in from other states. In just 3 years. Now let us look at the most extraordinary example of this story. Elon Musk. In 2021, Elon Musk sold approximately $23 billion worth of Tesla stock. $23 billion. In a single year. Now, if he had still been living in California, which has a 13.3% state income tax, the state of California would have claimed approximately $3.1 billion from that stock sale alone. $3.1 billion. Gone. But Musk had moved to Texas in December 2020, just months before selling this stock. Texas charged him zero state income tax on that sale. Zero. That is $3 billion he kept, that California would have taken. Let me say that again. By changing his address, just moving his home from California to Texas, Elon Musk kept $3 billion that the government would have taken. And that was just one stock sale. Over multiple years of sales and compensation, experts estimate Musk has saved over $11 billion by moving to Texas. $11 billion. That is more money than the entire annual budget of some countries. That is more than what Bangladesh earns from some of its biggest industries. And it was saved, completely legally, simply by changing one address. But zero income tax is not the only reason billionaires chose Texas. Texas also has no estate tax. Meaning, when a billionaire dies, their children inherit the full fortune without the state taking a single dollar. Texas has lighter business regulations compared to California, making it easier and cheaper to operate large companies. The cost of land in Texas is dramatically lower, meaning companies can build huge offices, warehouses, and factories at a fraction of the California price. Texas has a central location inside the United States, making shipping, logistics, and travel more efficient. And perhaps most importantly, Texas has a strong pro-business culture. Politicians in Texas actively compete to attract wealthy individuals and corporations. They offer incentives, fast permits, and a government attitude that says, "We want your business here." California's government, many argue, took the opposite approach. Higher taxes, more regulations, more restrictions. The result? The wealth left. But here is the part of this story that most people miss. Texas does not actually collect zero tax. It collects tax differently. Because Texas has no income tax, it relies very heavily on property tax. And Texas has some of the highest property tax rates in the entire United States. The average Texas homeowner pays more in property tax than homeowners in most other states in America. So think about who this system actually helps. The billionaire who moves to Texas pays nothing on his income. The regular Texas family, the teacher, the nurse, the construction worker who cannot simply move their address to save money. They pay heavily on their home. Every year, the billionaire gets the benefit. The ordinary family pays the price. This is the hidden inequality inside the Texas tax miracle. And there is another problem. Texas has attracted so many people and so many companies so quickly that its infrastructure is struggling to keep up. The 2021 Texas winter storm, when the power grid failed completely, and hundreds of people died in the freezing cold, exposed just how fragile the state systems really are, beneath the billionaire-friendly surface. Zero income tax. But the ordinary people still pay, one way or another. Now you might be watching this from Bangladesh, or from anywhere in the world, and asking, why does this matter to me? Here is the answer. The Texas story is a perfect example of a financial principle that operates everywhere on Earth. Wealthy people and wealthy companies always move their money, and themselves, to wherever the rules are most favorable. This is called tax arbitrage. And it does not only happen inside America, it happens globally. That is why so many wealthy people from South Asia, the Middle East, and Africa park their money in places like Dubai, Singapore, or London. The same logic that moved Elon Musk from California to Texas is the exact same logic that moves money out of Bangladesh, out of India, out of Nigeria, and into low-tax financial centers around the world. Understanding this is understanding the fundamental engine of how global wealth actually moves. And for ordinary people in developing countries, understanding this system is the first step to protecting yourself from it. Elon Musk moved to Texas and saved $11 billion. Hundreds of billionaires followed him. $100 billion of wealth left California and landed in a state with zero income tax. This is not a scandal. This is not illegal. This is the system, working exactly as the people who designed it intended it to work, for those who understand it. If this video opened your eyes to something real about how money and power actually move in America, subscribe to this channel right now. Every week, from Bangladesh, we bring you the financial stories that the world's most powerful people would rather you did not understand. Next week, the story of the secret island meeting in 1910 that created the U.S. Federal Reserve, and why it still controls every dollar on Earth today. You do not want to miss that one. See you next week.